What if I told you there's this spice you probably already have in your kitchen that could like help with achy joints and make you think more clearly and even like help you live longer?
It sounds a little too good to be true, right? Like some sort of ancient secret.
Yeah, kind of. But what we're going to do today is look into curcumin.
That's the active ingredient in turmeric.
Right. And it's getting a lot of buzz because it seems like it could have tons of benefits for like your whole body.
Yeah, we're not just talking about like a quick fix for one thing.
Yeah.
This stuff seems to have the potential to affect so many things going on inside you.
Exactly. Like imagine less pain from arthritis, your body fighting off aging, and keeping your brain sharp.
And that's just for starters.
Yeah, so today we're going to really dig deep and try to understand what makes curcumin tick and why it's becoming such a big deal in the health and wellness world.
And, it's not like this is brand new or anything. Turmeric has been used in traditional medicine for ages.
Right.
What's really cool is that now we're starting to get scientific evidence that might explain why it's been used for so long.
Okay, so let's jump into one of the major benefits that seems to be getting a lot of attention. Curcumin's anti-inflammatory power. It looks like it doesn't just affect one thing, but it might actually hit multiple pathways in the body that are involved in inflammation. So how big of a deal is that?
Oh, that's a huge deal because, inflammation is kind of at the root of so many chronic health problems, from joint pain and tendinitis to even things like digestive issues. The fact that curcumin could potentially work on several points in that whole inflammation process suggests that it could have a really broad effect.
Right, it's like putting out the whole fire, not just a couple of flames here and there.
Exactly.
And we're not just talking about general inflammation here. There's information suggesting it could actually improve specific conditions like arthritis and tendinitis. Those conditions that end in itis.
Yeah, the ones that can make life really difficult for a lot of people.
Exactly. And it seems like it might also be able to calm down inflammation in the gut, which we're learning more and more is super important for your overall health.
Yeah, and we're understanding the gut-brain connection better all the time, how the gut and the brain are constantly talking to each other. So if you can reduce inflammation in your gut, it could have all sorts of positive effects on your whole system.
That's really fascinating. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about something that I think a lot of people are curious about, anti-aging. We're seeing some comparisons to a substance called denol that's been researched for its anti-aging effects. And apparently, both curcumin and denol can block this enzyme called MAOB. What's so interesting about that connection?
Well, it's really intriguing that a natural compound found in turmeric seems to work in a similar way to something that's being investigated for its potential to slow down aging. MAOD is thought to play a role in breaking down certain brain chemicals, and blocking it might help protect your brain and maybe even reduce the risk of Alzheimer's.
And it gets even more interesting. They did a study with older mice, like the equivalent of 65-year-old humans who were given denol, and these mice supposedly had a resurgence of, sexual activity and lived way longer than the mice who didn't get it. Like one mouse even lived to the human equivalent of 130 years.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive lifespan.
Right. And the key connection here is that curcumin is also thought to block MAOB.
It's important to remember that what happens in mice doesn't always translate directly to humans, but these results are definitely exciting and make scientists want to study this further, especially the effects on lifespan.
Absolutely. And the potential brain benefits don't stop there. We're seeing that curcumin might help reduce neuroinflammation, which, as we talked about before, is linked to all sorts of brain conditions that can mess with your memory, how well you think, and even your mood. And on top of that, it might even help increase BDNF. What's BDNF and why should we care about it?
BDNF stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's like fertilizer for your brain cells, helping them grow, survive, and stay healthy.
Okay, I like that analogy.
People with depression and cognitive decline often have lower levels of BDNF, so anything that could help boost those levels is a really big deal for brain health.
So if you're worried about Alzheimer's, there's even some suggestion that curcumin might interfere with the formation of beta amyloid plaques. Those are like the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah, they're those clumps that build up in the brain.
Right. And while this needs a lot more research, it does offer a glimmer of hope.
It definitely does.
Yep.
Alzheimer's is a really complex disease, so it's likely that we'll need multiple approaches to prevent and manage it. But the idea that a natural compound like curcumin could play a role is really encouraging.
All right, let's switch gears again and talk about heart health. The information we're looking at suggests that curcumin can directly support and protect the function of the endothelial layer. So for those who might not know, why is this inner lining of our arteries so important?
Well, the endothelium is this super thin layer of cells that lines all your blood vessels. You might think, oh, it's just a lining, no big deal, but it's actually crucial. It helps regulate blood pressure, prevents blood clots from forming, and keeps your arteries healthy and flexible.
So it's kind of like the gatekeeper for your blood
Yeah,
vessels.
exactly. And when this layer gets damaged, that's often one of the first steps towards developing heart disease.
That makes sense.
So curcumin, protecting the endothelium, could be a big win for your heart.
It also looks like curcumin might help manage LDL cholesterol, those small, dense particles that are more likely to get stuck in your artery walls. And it seems to fight oxidative LDL, which is like rust forming inside your arteries.
Yikes, that's a scary thought.
Right. But it's a good way to visualize what's happening. By potentially stopping those small, dense LDL particles from getting in and then oxidizing, curcumin could be tackling major risk factors for plaque buildup in your arteries, that atherosclerosis thing.
Yeah, it's like a two-pronged attack on a major heart health issue.
So what about our other organs, like the liver? There's mention of curcumin potentially reducing the risk of fatty liver and liver inflammation.
Well, considering how good curcumin seems to be at fighting inflammation in general, it makes sense that it could protect your liver too. Your liver is a busy organ. It's always detoxifying and metabolizing things, so keeping it healthy is really important.
And for those of you who are watching your blood sugar, we're seeing that curcumin might increase insulin sensitivity. Why is that a good thing?
Well, if your insulin sensitivity is better, it means your body can use the insulin it makes more effectively to control your blood sugar. This is especially important for people who are at risk for or already have type 2 diabetes.
It seems like the list of potential benefits just keeps growing. We're also seeing that curcumin might speed up wound healing and has some pretty strong antimicrobial effects.
Yeah, though it's worth noting that it could potentially affect the good bacteria in your gut too, so there's always a balance to consider.
Right, there are always two sides to the coin.
Yeah.
And there's even some information about benefits for eye health, probably thanks to its anti-inflammatory action.
Makes sense.
And for those dealing with gut issues like bloating or ulcers, curcumin might be helpful there too, again, probably because of its anti-inflammatory properties.
And it could potentially be helpful for allergies, maybe by influencing how your immune system reacts, especially for conditions like eczema, psoriasis, and even acne.
Yeah, your immune system is super complex, and it seems like curcumin might be able to modulate it, bring it back into balance if it's overreacting, which is what happens in a lot of allergic and autoimmune skin conditions.
It's like calming down an overexcited puppy.
Okay, I like that analogy. And finally, and this one is really amazing, there's some evidence that curcumin can actually bind to heavy metals, maybe even help your liver get rid of them,
Wow.
right? And in our modern world, where we're exposed to so many heavy metals, that's a pretty big deal.
It is. Heavy metal toxicity is a growing concern for a lot of people. So if curcumin can actually help detoxify them, that has a whole other layer of potential benefits.
Now, there's one thing about curcumin that people often talk about. It doesn't get absorbed into your body very well, which means you might not be getting all the benefits, but there's a simple fix for that, right?
Yeah, just take it with black pepper.
Seriously.
Seriously. Piperine, a natural compound of black pepper, has been shown to really boost how much curcumin your body can absorb and use. So if you're thinking about adding curcumin to your routine, definitely remember the black pepper trick.
Good to know. And it looks like more isn't always better. Taking huge amounts might not give you more benefits and could even cause some discomfort.
Yeah, that's an important point. Just because something is natural doesn't mean you can go overboard. Like with most things in life, moderation and consistency are key.
Makes sense. So how can people actually get more curcumin into their daily lives? We're seeing some practical suggestions like turmeric tea, golden milk, adding turmeric to smoothies, and of course, using it in cooking.
Those are all great ideas. Cooking with turmeric not only adds delicious flavor and beautiful color to your meals, but also gives you a natural source of curcumin. And like we mentioned before, combining it with other spices and healthy fats, which are often found in those types of dishes, might help with absorption too.
So to sum it all up, it seems like curcumin, that incredible compound found in turmeric, really has the potential to be a natural powerhouse for a wide range of health concerns. We talked about its powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, how it might ease arthritis and chronic inflammation, and its potential benefits for brain health, maybe even affecting Alzheimer's and cognitive function. And we can't forget its support for heart health by protecting the endothelium and managing LDL, its potential for liver health, blood sugar regulation, wound healing, its antimicrobial actions, benefits for gut health and allergies, and even its ability to bind to heavy metals.
And of course, we talked about how you can boost curcumin's absorption by simply taking it with black pepper.
Such a simple but important tip. Whether you're sipping on turmeric tea to unwind, enjoying a cozy cup of golden milk, adding turmeric to your morning smoothie, or spicing up your meals, incorporating turmeric into your diet seems like a pretty easy and potentially impactful way to support your overall well-being. It really makes you wonder what other amazing things nature has in store for us.
It does make you think, doesn't it? In a world that's always searching for synthetic solutions, what other natural compounds are out there that might have similar benefits that we're just starting to understand?
That's a great question to ponder. Remember to subscribe for more healthy inspirations. Also, watch another video talking about turmeric in my channel.